Alright, so I just watched a video from Moist Critical on Twitch or Penguins0 on YouTube, and it was basically like a satire video. It was pretty funny. I'll link it down below, and if you don't feel like watching the video, it was basically making fun of a like top 10 list of things that Sigma males do to like get women or something like to that extent. So throughout the video, it was pretty funny, honestly. It was a good satire video to watch, and I don't really honestly know what goes on with like Sigma males. I'm not too informed about that space. Like I do know about like beta versus alpha males, like just from like the red pill space. That kind of vocabulary has been used in that sense, but I've never heard about like Sigma males, and I'm not too informed on that topic. So I don't really know what exactly they stand for. So near the end of the video, Charlie had a good point where he kind of just said that this whole alpha male versus beta male versus sigma male versus like omega male stuff is somewhat similar to astrology, like how women believe in star signs and stuff like that. So is this belief system of how like different types of males interact, is that equivalent to star signs and like made up behavior? Because he does have some valid points in the video, and then like looking through the comments, people do bring up good points, and I kind of agree with them in the sense that these like top 10 videos of like here are things that sigma males or alpha males will do to get women, it's kind of just like generic things that just work to get women in general. Like, oh, you should be not afraid to like voice your mind and not be afraid to be yourself around a girl and not put her on a pedestal, stuff like that. Things that are generally like pretty well known and just common traits of like how to get girls in general. So it's not super specific to these certain kinds of subsets of males, of like sigma males only do this. And this exact formula is what I see in star signs and astrology, and why I think it's BS is because oh, they're like, oh, Geminis only do this, but it's really just some broad human behavior that literally could apply to anyone. And then it's like, oh, these people relate to it because they were born within this certain month or whatever date range, and then they believe, oh, because they say that this like Geminis do this certain trait, and because it applies to everyone, the people that are born within that date range that classifies them as Gemini, they believe because it's a universal trait that in some sense is present in every single person, they try to cling on to that, and they resonate with that so much, being like, oh, this was made for the stars made me like this because of the certain however they were positioned in the sky or some shit. That's just not how that works. They literally, all of astrology, I don't know, maybe I'm just like too close-minded for this, but for most of what I see through astrology, they'll just explain some sort of broad behavior or character trait that exists in some sense in most people in general, and then they designate them to certain star signs or whatever. Going back to how this relates to alpha males or beta males and sigma males, omega males being the star signs for men, what do we think about that? I think that it's an interesting thought, to be honest. I do believe that there are behaviors that can be classified as a beta male behavior or an alpha male behavior. I don't really know what goes on with like sigma males or omega males, if that's even a thing. So I can't speak too much to that sense. So if anybody wants to enlighten me in the comments, please feel free. So things like putting a girl on a pedestal when you're trying to court her, I would classify that as a beta male behavior, because that's just not what you're supposed to do. Like that's more of like blue pill thinking, and that you're supposed to treat this girl like a princess even though you just met her. That's not really how to go about things. And then on the other hand, if you go towards like what would be an alpha male behavior, I think that would be more or less just talking to them like they're on your level, and not necessarily putting them on a pedestal, not like shitting on them and making them below your level, because I mean that's just human decency to give people around you that you've never met before respect, unless they have a reason to not deserve your respect. But like at face value, if you're just meeting someone new, they should deserve equal respect as just a human in general. Now I'm kind of tripped up in how I'm trying to articulate this point, But I do believe in blue pill and red pill and different ways to view the world, different lenses. And I do think that your viewpoint of the world, so if you consume the blue pill, if you believe all the Disney fairy tales and stuff like that, and you don't ever switch over to the red pill, then you, in a sense, are a beta male because you are doing behaviors that would classify it as being under the blue pill and not entirely based on reality. Whereas if you take the red pill and you see the world for what it is, even all the ugly and harsh truths about it, then you naturally will exhibit behaviors that are in that same realm of thinking, and your behaviors will be influenced by how you see the world, if that makes sense. So I don't personally believe that like blue pill versus red pill and maybe even black pill, but I'm not too educated in that space either because I didn't even know that was a thing until recently. But I do think that blue pill versus red pill ideology is not like star sign equivalent at all, but maybe the belief of like this certain archetype of human, of man, being classified as a beta male versus a sigma male versus an alpha male versus an omega male could be seen in the light of star sign for men. But that's kind of what I had for today. Maybe this could foster some discussion. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.